Let's go. Time is against us.
Gather!
No touching! For Rex Lapis! Take flight! Don't blink! Nowhere to hide! Speed of light! Got lucky that time. Embrace the ice!
Stabilize!
Access denied. All hail! My apologies! Don't blink!
I will have order! Gather! No escape!
Whirling snow! With sword comes shadow. No touching! For Rex Lapis!
You can't run from death. Solidify!
Next on the agenda, Born of Ice and Frost. Incoming! Nowhere to hide.
Order guide you!
No touching! This is long overdue.
Pay your dues!
Chakra swirl! Hey! With sword comes shadow.
You stabilize from death. No escape.
For Rex Lapis! My apologies. Born of Ice and Frost.
Solidify! This is order! Leaving so soon!
All hail! Whirling snow!
You can't run from death.
Nowhere to hide. This is long overdue.
Gather! I will have order!
Take flight.
Pay your dues. Solidify!
Erase the ice! No touching! All hail! Yeah! Cut to the chase!
No escape! Order guide you!
Access denied! My apologies!
Gather!
Can't
run from me! Can't run from me!
So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. With sword comes shadow. This is long overdue. Whirling snow. Don't blink. Nowhere to hide. My apologies. Yeah.
I will have order.
For Rex Lapis! Speed of light! Sakura Swirl! Born of ice and frost! Take flight! We're way behind schedule. No touching! Cut to the chase!
Order guide you. Stabilize.
My apologies! Take flight! Whirling snow! Next on the agenda... My apologies!
Collecting rare and exquisite treasures. Yes, this seems suitably sophisticated.
Come on! Focus! Born of ice and frost. Take flight!
Healthy body, healthy mind. Access denied.
My apologies!
Next on the agenda...
Gather! This is order!
Born of ice and frost, this is long overdue.
Whirling snow!
Stabilize!
Don't blink! Hey! My apologies! Embrace the ice!
Access denied. For Rex Lapis.
Incoming! With sword comes shadow.
Before.
Nor have I. And I've hosted clinics at Qingsa Village many times in the past. If you ask me, Jiang Li was trying to remain unnoticed.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. We meant to ask earlier, but it slipped our minds in the rush to get here. Could you tell us more about Jiang Li? You said she was your fellow disciple, right?
She was indeed. We studied medicine together under the same master near Chenyu Vale. She is several years older than I and also began her travels far earlier than me. As a result, the time I spent studying alongside her was rather short.
Supposedly, she met an herb gatherer sometime during her travels and decided to settle down with him. That must have been Jialiang. Wait, Changxiang, are you saying neither of you had actually met Jialiang or Ayu before all of this?
Jiang Li did occasionally come back to Chenyu Vale to see our master, but for whatever reason, she hardly ever talked about her family. The last time she visited us, she and Master had some sort of quarrel. We never heard from her after that. It almost seemed as if she'd gone into hiding.
Quarrel? What happened? I don't know. I did not witness the argument myself.
Nor did Master ever explain it to me. All he would say is that should I ever encounter Jiang Li or her family in the future, I should do everything in my power to help them.
Oh, so that's why you went to such extreme lengths to help Jialiang.
No. Even if my master had never said anything, it would still be my duty as a doctor to help him. My decision would have remained the same.
Paimon never knew you were so selfless, Baiju. Paimon always had you down as the sneaky, scheming type. Sorry.
So a few words from me is enough to dispel all your suspicions, You ought not be quite so quick to relax your guard, Paimon. Sometimes even the good guys have their own private agenda.
What the... Okay, that was the most suspicious-sounding thing you've ever said.
Let's leave the idle chatter there for now, Jiang Li has lived in this house for many years. There must be something here that can shed a little light on this whole situation. Let's split up, but if anyone finds anything, we'll examine it together.
Traveler, Paimon, come quick! What is this?
Chung Sheng and I found a hidden compartment. This is...
You sense it too? You're right. This is a poison concocted using god remains. Is it? Breathe?
No. Your eyes do not deceive you. I do believe the poison in this spot. Some toxins act a lot like living organisms. I read about this once in the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases. This ancient class of poisons consists of mother and minor loads, capable of sustaining a connection over vast distances. If it's a concoction of this kind we're dealing with, then both the poison in Jialiang's system and this one here are likely minor loads.
Offshoots? So, the main body is somewhere...
Correct. Whoever is administering the poison can manipulate the source to indirectly control the poisoned individual's behavior and even cognition.
The gall of the... Wait. So, back when Jialiang...
Only one thing could have been drawing him there. The source of the god remains used as the poison's key ingredient.
This is getting crazier and crazier. Hey! Why has everyone gone... Since this poison was carefully hidden away in a secret compartment. You mean... Jialiang? Why would he poison himself? Think a little harder, Paimon. Someone else who lives here. Huh? So you're saying... it was Jiang Li? Wait, but that doesn't make any sense either.
I agree. It makes little sense. Jiang Li does not strike me as the kind of person who would do such a thing.
Look at the facts, though. How many people in the entirety of Liyue have the ability...
It's too early to draw any Yes. According to the origins and symptoms of disease... So if we can find and destroy the source of these god remains, the poison will leave... Do you know anything about god remains in Qingce village?
Even the history books have no record of this. Didn't you used to be on good terms with the adept? Well,
Changsheng's memories and powers are not what they were in her prime. These days, she has to enter a contract with a mortal and share their life force just to sustain her own life. I fear that such ancient events are long gone from her memory by now.
Whoa, what? Enter a contract? Hey, plenty of people would jump at the chance to join forces with a powerful being like me. With my assistance in rebalancing your chi, not only can you extend your lifespan, but you will also be stronger and healthier? Wow, that's amazing! Baiju, maybe when you retire, you can let Paimon sign a contract with Changsheng for a few days.
Unfortunately, Changsheng's contract has strict requirements regarding the host's temperament.
Temperament? Ugh, Paimon's mad! You're getting ugly nicknames, both of you! Baiju, you're Mannequin Man! Changsheng, you're just a pain in the neck! This is exactly why your natural temperament makes you woefully unsuited to being my host.
All right, everybody, calm down. Back to the matter at hand.
With how antisocial they are? What?
Seems you're as well connected.
Oh, if you're talking about who Paimon thinks you're talking about, you better do the honors.
You called?
Gets Paimon every time. Are all Adepti in the habit of materializing out of thin air like this?
Well, this is unexpected.
Huh?
Baiju of Boo Boo Pharmacy. I do believe I've had the pleasure before. The Lantern Rite when we met briefly. I was unaware of your true identity. I must apologize for the discourtesy.
Huh? You two already know each other?
Our paths have crossed once before. I sense the presence of evil spirits. Is this why you called me? So someone has been concocting demonic poison. Too often, fervent desires drive mortals to abandon all regard for their own safety. It is lamentable. I now know what you seek. It is true that a god's remains are buried beneath the foundations of Qingce village. A vile monster known as the Che once wrought havoc over this land. Before it was subdued by Rex Lapis, the land was finally cleansed of poison when Rex Lapis used statues in his likeness to seal the serpent's remains. Qingce village was founded some time after that. The seal is still mostly intact. If the Che is the source, then it must be some of its blood leaking from deep underground. However, its aura is faint and barely detectable. I do not like to intervene against mortals unless absolutely necessary, but when demonic forces are involved, things can spiral out of control. No, I do not wish to sway decisions that are mortals to make, but immortality may not be the blessing that you imagine it to be.
I shall treasure your words of instruction, Master Adeptus.
Farewell.
What a strange Adeptus. Rather different from the way I remember them. That's Xiao for ya! And thanks to him, we finally got some concrete info to go off of.
If the god remains are leaking from underground, Jiangli must be paying a visit to a subterranean cave on her herb-gathering trips.
Master, there's a
Gui? Did you run all the way from Boo Boo Pharmacy?
What happened? Don't panic. Just catch your breath and tell me everything.
It's Jiaoliang. He was fine one minute, and then he suddenly took a turn for the worse.
Already? Based on past experience, he should have been fine for the next 3 days at least.
It seems that my worst fears have been confirmed. Everyone, back to Boo Boo Pharmacy now!
What's wrong?
Don't be scared. Dr. Baishu will...
How is he doing?
Dr. Baiju, you're back! My dad was doing fine earlier.
When Gui left, he was...
Gui, please take Jiaoliang to the back room and prepare for treatment.
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu. I will cure your father.
Baishu's not gonna use Changsheng's secret art again. So nice to...
How are you feeling, Dad? Are you still hurting anywhere? You're not gonna suddenly collapse again, are you?
Much better, Ayu. I'm feeling much better. In fact, wait.
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Oh, really? Well, he must be tired from treating me for 2 nights in a row. I don't know how I can begin to repay him for saving my life. I'll have to discuss it properly. Speaking of which, has there been any word of her whereabouts yet?
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't...
I'll come with...
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jiaoliang. I strongly suggest that you stay and rest at Boo Boo
I suppose you're right. Though, on the bright side, this means I can thank Dr. Baiju in person once he's finished resting.
Traveler, Baiju hasn't shown his face. Huh? Hey!
Huh?
You're finally awake?
There was no time. I had no other choice. Jiang Li's design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous innovations that I can learn from. Alas, If only there wasn't a catch.
So, how much longer do you... They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were...
All right.
Surely he hasn't. There's no way he could have just... Who's talking behind our backs again? Ah! Baizhu! Changsheng!
Of course. There's no need to be concerned. I merely had to transfer a rather large amount of life force on this occasion. But, with Changsheng's help, I will recover in time.
Jiaoliang seemed fine.
I made an error in my... and as a result, his life...
What? You mean, even...
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jiaoliang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy function, though it was created...
Had he not taken it all these years...
Still. Moreover,
That explains why
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I shudder to think how many... I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described. In an effort to save Jiaoliang's life, Jiang Li has abandoned all regard for her own safety.
I never suspected that even Jiang Li would turn to the same path as so many others over the years. Perhaps this, to sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human...
Well, I think that it's... In any case, I have... Her regular exposure to God, and given that she's already been missing for several days...
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baizhu. Dr. Baizhu, you've already done... After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I know I won't be... I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she says goodbye to me every time she goes to gather her herbs. I'm sure I'll remember. I have to remember.
Be careful. If you get too agitated, your blood...
No! We're out of time! Before I forget her...
This trip will be extremely dangerous, and there is a very real possibility that you will not return from it. Are you sure you're prepared for that?
I never expected to live this long in the first place. My death is already long overdue. So why should I fear it? There's only one thing I fear now, and that's that I'll forget her again before we manage to find her.
Very well. Then follow me.
Dr. Baizhu? Are you heading out again?
Yes. This could be a long one. Could you please prepare a dose of the usual formula? Please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen and 1 dose each of the ingredients from the 3rd and 5th compartments of my medicine cabinet. I hope it works. Hop to it now.
Okay.
Next on the agenda...
It's just like the day I went missing.
The Mother Lode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because we're getting closer to the source? Or because the leakage of Che blood is growing more severe? Jialiang, can you sense which direction the source is in?
I think it's this way. Yes, I'm sure of it. I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way. This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
There is an inauspicious presence here.
I think I remember this place.
Jialiang, are you okay? Maybe you should rest here while we continue the search.
No, I have to keep going. Jiangli is still...
It's time to pull the trigger.
This place gives Paimon the creeps. Who knows what we're gonna find up ahead?
The digging marks here appear amateur.
A thieves' tunnel? Paimon has heard rumors about treasure around these parts before. Maybe it was the treasure hoarders that dug this tunnel.
Judging by the tools they left behind, it's certainly a possibility. But why did they abandon this place without even...
I remember now. She took me here once and told me that she... She said that the method would cause me to,
Easy, Jiali. Mind the suck.
Gotcha!
Don't blink! Cut to the chase! Speed of light!
Solidify! I will have order!
Whoa, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves a...
I believe this sensor was used to burn a monster-repelling incense.
A monster repelling incense? You sure? 'Cause
The incense was burned several days ago. If I had to guess, the monsters we fought just now were enticed here by some entity deeper inside the cave. No doubt an encounter with the very same entity was what after them.
That's right. This sensor. This is where I told Jiang.
Jiao
I'm fine. Let's keep going. I can feel. Feel it. We're getting close. We're almost there. It's right up ahead. The place where we made a pact together to...
Aha! We can keep going now!
From the looks of it, the energy released by this mechanism can not only clear barriers, but also be conducted by corresponding mechanisms. Perhaps it's something we can make use of.
Will see you. Huh? Paimon doesn't see any barrier-breaking mechanisms around here. There are tracks here, and it looks like they're connected to something. Shall we follow it and see where it takes us?
Mind the side effects.
The doctor will see you.
Quietly now. Game's up. Game's over.
Scatter. Mind the side effects. Taking a turn for the better.
Incoming! Nowhere to hide. Don't blink!
Gather! This is order!
Incoming!
A bitter pill to swallow.
The doctor will see you.
Jiangli!
Look out! There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back. A bitter pill to swallow. Remember, health comes first.
Quietly now.
With sword comes shadow.
Mind the side effects.
Speed of light! Hey!
Here you are.
Subtract! Gather! I will have order!
Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey.
The doctor will see you.
Seems like an emergency.
Dr. Baiju, how serious is it?
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite grave. The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition, much as the poison in your system did to you. If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if—
Then, what are we waiting for? Let's... It's not as simple as that. Don't the poison within Jialiang's body is if the source is purged, the poison... and the poison within Jialiang's body? Oh no.
Indeed. If the god remains—
I wondered when this day might come.
Wait! But we've all been worked by you. You're a great doctor.
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiang—
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you, right up until the moment when she lost consciousness.
Dr. Baiju, give it to me.
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days.
But Dr. Baiju, I'm old. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only I know for a fact that I should have done. If my choice can bring Jiangli back
Jialiang.
after cheating. Traveler, Dr.
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that I won't be.
Jialiang.
I am sure that over the years, Jiangli will have tried all the conventional methods known to humankind.
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. What a crazy situation. Jiangli risked it all to save Jialiang's life. And now...
I've seen many final fair.
In the human realm, all things, at least.
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those who would willingly sacrifice themselves for others, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives least deserving of death.
When all this began, we agreed that once Ayu was old. If you... So... I've said my goodbyes.
As you wish.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end, you'll become little more than a shadow of your true self.
I'll take it. At the very least.
Mom, something's really wrong with Dad. Don't fret, Ayu. I will get...
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live... Oh, how I would love to hear
Jialiang. Jialiang! Jialiang!
Dad!
Didn't I... Huh? What are... the...
How does it feel to come back to life?
Do you feel strange or different in any way?
Dr. Baizhu...
Dai? You did indeed. As things...
I'm a zombie?
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With its help, you have been suspended in the space between life and death. Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life indefinitely, whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years. But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in peace. I hope that
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you to work on something like that behind my back.
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jialiang's iron will. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life and death and the perpetual cycle of yin and yang. All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything in my power to save. And even this would have counted for nothing without Director Hu's assistance. After all, did you not tell Jia Liang to show us the way before we set off for Qingsa village?
Oops. And I'm busted.
Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiang Li in time.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought he was being frank and transparent with me for once, but apparently not.
Director Hu told me to keep her suggestion a secret, but it seems nothing escapes Dr. Baiju's attention.
Never underestimate a serpent's sense of smell.
All I wanted was to help Jia Liang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife without any unfulfilled wishes making the journey more difficult than it needs to be. Leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. Never mind. I'll just have to put it down in the books as a deferred consideration. One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked him off to the Wangsheng funeral parlor the moment I found him.
You stay away from my dad! When I grow up, I'm gonna become an even better doctor than Mom and Baizhu, and cure Dad for good!
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried to put Wangsheng Funeral Parlor out of business. If you're serious about it, you'll have your work cut out for you. Traveler, Paimon, I'll catch you all another time.
Is she finally gone? All's well that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion. At times like this, a grand celebratory feast is in order.
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Zhang Li and Ayu around the dinner table.
time for some fresh ingredients. Let's go!
Wait up! I'll come too!
Baiju, thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Don't mention it, Jiangli. I was just doing my duty.
Just your duty, huh? Baiju, Changsheng, would you mind if we took this conversation outside? Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Chenyu Vale. Changsheng, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the other hand, have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never imagined that things would one day turn out this way. Or that you'd turn out this way, Baiju. I've taken a look at your elixir of immortality. It's not altogether dissimilar from the poison.
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life.
No, not at all. With your intellect, even if you'd... But I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a thorough understanding. Not just that. You even managed to improve a... Baiju, be honest with me. Did you try out some of the poison on yourself?
Huh. Told you the truth would surface sooner or later.
Life force isn't the only thing that Changsheng's contract lets you transfer between bodies.
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli. You are correct. Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer of toxins and diseases. When I treated Jia Liang for the second time, I transferred some of the poison from his body into my own. Not only did there is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however. Now that the source has been destroyed, any remaining poison in me will have already dissipated.
But you took such a huge risk. If we had... What am I saying? The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old. But in the end... How were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another. Are all disciples of Chenyu Vale destined to turn out this way? To live a short life, having given away our own for the sake of others?
We are doctors, Jiangli. We ought never say that anyone's fate is sealed.
Baiju, I can tell that, over the years, you've used the contract with Changsheng. Can you still stop before it's too late?
I think you know the answer, Jiangli.
Hey, food's ready!
Mom, come and join us! The Traveler taught me a load of new recipes, and so...
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Baiju, I know I won't be able to convince you, but please don't forget that. Chi-Chi, Gui, and all the friends who have grown fond of you, they will all miss you dearly.
There's no need to worry, Jiangli. I know what I'm doing.
I can only hope so.
Baiju, what did Jiang Li mean by not Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baiju and Jiang Li's master, has passed away at a young age. Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
It is a very long story.
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Chenyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force. She said that this art is a poison chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patients? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojun. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract will end with me.
My contract has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament. All my hosts have been most pure of heart.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more seduced than the average person by the miracle of overturning the laws of life and death. Though they know better than anyone else the fate that awaits them, when faced with the sorrows of humanity and the pain of losing their nearest and dearest, they cannot help but reach beyond human means. They are like moths that throw themselves into the flame, seeking a...
So, Baiyu, does...
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light, but doesn't want to be burned to a crisp. Cheng Sheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like we witnessed. Either Jia Liang feared for Jiang Li's life, or Jiang Li grieved over Jia Liang's sacrifice. I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their principles.
Huh? But didn't...
What makes a poison, poison? And what makes a disease, a disease? When it comes down to it, if disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who knows? Perhaps the true elixir of immortality could in fact be a kind of poison. Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural order. But to me, it is no different from the way our ancestors tested the medicinal qualities of herbs by sampling each and every one. I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract. Nor do I wish for Cheng Sheng to perish from losing her host. This leaves only one solution, doesn't it? Precisely. I will be Cheng Sheng's final host, and the tradition of passing down the contract will end with me.
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you want to save yourself. Now you even want to save me. You're getting greedy, Baiju.
But isn't wanting to have it all what makes us human? For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light, the only path forward is up towards the moon.
For once, Paimon just does not know what to say.
Dr. Baiju, Traveler, what are you still chatting about? The food's about to get cold.
We also have coconut milk for Cheng Sheng and Paimon.
Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after. I do envy Paimon sometimes. Eating her fill is enough to satisfy her body and mind.
True. And yet, although we call them simple pleasures, are such things as these not precisely why we mortals cling desperately to the life we have?
Wait.
Kamisato Ayaka, present.
Stabilize!
Take flight!
Rain outlines your fate.
There's quality here.
Boring! Useless! Take flight! Boring! My apologies!
Yeah! No, my sword! Rain outlines your fate. Rain outlines your fate.
Take flight!
Collecting rare and exquisite treasures. Yes, this seems suitably sophisticated.